Hi, I'm Steve Richards from Computer Telecom Solutions, and today I'm here to talk to you about a new product and service that we've found. It's an amazing piece of kit. It's an online solution. It provides you with a CRM, so customer relationship module or model, and a marketing solution, but it's all in one. Now, we've seen these before, but they all seem to be focused in the wrong direction, if you like. Um, with a CRM, what you want to be able to do is generate and track your sales leads. But of course, your sales leads come from marketing of some sort. And the emphasis has always been on the database rather than on the marketing side. So people end up using one tool for one thing and another tool for the other. So you end up with a CRM and a marketing tool. The great thing about this particular product, which comes in partnership from us and Active Hosted, is that it can do both jobs. Here's the CRM side of things, and we've just got the CRM set up as a simple CRM, so there's not many details that we're collecting at the moment on this one. We've got some email lists that we've got active, and you can see that the contact details for the clients are their email address, first name, last name, phone number, organization, and tags. We'll come on to tags a little bit later. The great thing about this is you can add custom fields, as you'd expect, so you can grow your database into anything you like, but also you can synchronize most of your existing databases, I'd have thought, with this product. If you're using Google, you can synchronize Google with it. If you're using, let's say, Sugar CRM, you can synchronize that. Salesforce, you can synchronize that. So all these different products that are out there at the moment that you might be using, you can synchronize with this. So that what you can actually do is you can start using this as your everyday source of information without changing what you've already done. Yeah, so that's the CRM side. I'm not going to go into any detail on that. What I really want to do is get onto the automation of automation of some of the marketing tools that we've got available. So, we all know about marketing, sending emails and making phone calls and contacting clients, all sorts of different ways. But let's look at automating the email side of things. So I'm going to create a new automation. We're going to keep this very, very simple. I want you to imagine that we've got a client who's subscribed to a newsletter or something similar to that. It might be that they've completed a form, but there's a whole bunch of ways we can start off this automation. So it might be a form they submit up for a sale or something like that. I'm going to start with a subscription, and we're going to use my test list for the purpose of this rather than using a live account. And straight away we go to a graphical interface, and that's a really nice way of viewing things because we can see things very, very quickly, the flow of the data. It makes it harder to make a mistake when you're actually creating this process that you want to take place. So right at the top it says contact subscribers list, and then underneath it says the list name, test list. We could add another start to that, so we might want a form of completed, but in this particular instance we're going to keep it simple. The next thing we've got, we can add the first action. So we can add our next action to this by clicking on the plus sign. What we're actually going to do is somebody signs up to our newsletter, then what we want to do is wait. Yeah. So we're going to wait for, let's say, 30 minutes. So we're going to give them a chance to continue doing what they were doing and look up the websites and so on and so forth. And then we're going to send them a welcome email 30 minutes later. So we click on send email, and we're going to create that email, and we're taken to, first of all, a little pop-up that says put in the name for this, and this is for our benefit, not for the client's benefit. So I'm just going to call this welcome email, click on OK, and immediately we go to the email templates, and there are a bunch of these and more being added all the time. So let's use this design here because it's nice and simple. It's got my email details up there. Okay, and we've got a no reply at ctsnww.co.uk, same as a lot of people. Dyslexic fingers again, there you go. So we've got a no reply, and in this case we're just going to send this, and if somebody clicks on reply, it's going to go to the no reply. You're not expecting people to reply, and we're not encouraging people to reply to this particular one at this moment in time. What's the subject of the email going to be? Thank you for joining us. Nice and simple. Click on continue. Take them back to the to the email now, and we're ready to edit our email. Okay, so here's the actual email. We're not going to edit it all. It's a straightforward process. So welcome to CTS, and again, let's get that sorted there. And then you put whatever welcome text you wanted in there, and maybe some offer, those sorts of things. And you've got all the usual bits and pieces you'd expect here, so we can personalize this. So we can go welcome to CTS and personalize this with their first name, for example. Yeah. Okay, and that'll go in there. So sorry, that's the first name. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So the first name will be added to that email, and away we go. Yeah. Nothing complex about that. You'd finish off your email so it was ready. You'd then save it, and you can save it separately there as you go along, or just click on next to move the process on. So we'll do that. I've got a warning screen here, and the reason for that is my test email and my send email address are the same. Now, in my case, it doesn't make any difference. I know this works, but in some cases, depending on who your email provider is, it may not work. So I'm quite happy with that, and I'm happy to finish my email. So the process now says they subscribe to this test list. We wait 30 minutes. We send them a welcome email, and there's a picture of the welcome email and hover over this link. So what we're going to do next? Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to wait a day. So again, this wait state, and wait 1 day, save. And after we've waited 1 day, we're going to see what this contact does. I mean, first of all, have they opened that email? So let's do a quick check. We're going to use a conditional statement based on actions. And in this case, we're going to look and see if the client has opened the email from our welcome email. Yep. Okay. Click the OK button like that. If they haven't, let's give them a little bit of time. So we will now wait for, let's say, 7 days. Yeah, of course, you could just go from this list 1 week. Yeah, so 1 week, save. And then we're going to check again. Have they opened the email? If else. Okay. Actions. Has opened this email, the welcome email. Yeah. So we're repeating that loop. We'll give them a second chance. If they have, yes, then it's great, but they took some time. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start an automation again, and we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that later. Okay. So I'm just going to save that as it is. And if they haven't opened the email after that length of time, then we're going to end the automation. Okay, where you probably wouldn't. What you'd actually do is not end the automation at all. You'd perform some of the task, and maybe that task is. Let's have a look. Let's send them some further emails. So let's send them to. There we go. There, just like that. So we're going to send another email campaign. Repeat the welcome email and save. Yeah, so they'll come back into this loop again at the top if they click on it. So let's go back up here and assume that they have opened. Well, this is checked now and proven that they've opened the email. So what we're going to do next? Well, the next stage after we've opened the email is we want to see if they've purchased something. So another if else statement. Yeah. So this time we're looking to see if there's a deal. Let's see if they've purchased something with a value greater than or equal to £500. Yeah. So have they purchased a product that's worth more than £500? If not, then guess what? We're going to wait. We're going to wait for. There we go. Let's wait for 1 week. And after 1 week, we're going to send them a promotional email from another list. In this case, what we want to do is subscribe them to another list, and the clients list in this case. Anything that goes out to clients, they will be sent. Yeah. Okay. And after that, we're going to end the automation. Nice and simple. If the client has actually made a purchase of more than £500, then we're going to make them a VIP. And the way to make them a VIP, there's several ways of doing this, but let's first of all add a tag. And a tag, remember I mentioned that on the contacts bit when we were just looking at the contacts? Nip back to that. We've got tags down here. Yeah. When you talk about contacts, a tag is a key word, if you like. It's something that you can search on. It doesn't have to be anything particularly meaningful, as long as it means something to you. In this case, we're going to set up a VIP tag, and we're going to let someone know. Let's notify some of the guys in sales at CTS. Co.uk, just like that. And let's say new VIP as a subject, and our latest VIPs. Yep. So sales will get an email that says, please check our latest VIPs. They know that somebody's been added to the VIP list, so they can work out who that is. They can then follow up on those. So let's wait for 7 days, and then if hopefully sales will have taken account of everything by then, and then they'll end the automation. Yeah. So straight away we've got a process there that works really, really nicely. What we're actually going to do is market to the client based on what they've done. So we start off with they subscribe to our test list. It could be any list, of course. Yeah, we're going to wait 30 minutes, send them a welcome email. We're going to wait for a day. If they don't open the email, we're going to wait a further week, and then we're going to test again to see if they opened it. And if they didn't open it this time, we're going to resend the welcome email, and then we're going to end the automation. If they have opened it, then we're going to send them something specific. We'll put them in another automation list called Kaspersky in this case. So that's promoting an antivirus tool, and again we will end the automation. So we're just tidying this up by putting the ends in. If they did actually open the email within that first day, so they've opened their welcome email within a day, then obviously they're keen on something. We're going to check and see whether they've made a purchase, a VIP purchase of over £500. If they haven't, we'll wait a week and subscribe them to our clients list, and then the automation. They'll now get all the standard emails that a client has. If they joined us to actually make a VIP purchase, then we'll add the VIP tag. We notify the sales team, we wait 7 days, and we end the automation. Yeah. So very, very simple process, but you can see straight away that based on the customer's actions within the email, we've performed other actions that are going to generate money for us, marketing. Yeah. So simple task like that, very, very easily done. I mentioned earlier that you can automate some of the synchronization between other products and our product here. Our partnered product with Active Hosted, which we're very proud to have that association, by the way. They're an incredible company. So what you can actually do is you can link applications within this application itself. So be it for social marketing or for databases or for PayPal or whatever. And we have a look at the list of applications that are available to you. They're immense. It's an enormous list of applications. So you've got a list of application tools that you can link with for grabbing data and triggering things and all sorts of stuff. Analytics applications, content management systems, CRMs, databases, developers tools, e-commerce tools, event management tools, forms, lead generation, sales, social. Of course, we all use social media for marketing these days. Finally, support, and this is one of the things that I'm most excited about, really, is the fact that you can use an existing help desk that you may have out there, link it in with this, and trigger events based on what goes on within that help desk. So you can actually follow up your clients. This is one of the things that I was really looking to do. Some way of, when I've done some work with a client, that I can follow up automatically in 3 days and 7 days, to make sure they're totally happy with the work that's been done. It's good customer service, and yet doing it manually is a pain. If you can automate it, it's brilliant. You're still doing the job, you're still doing what the customer would like to see, and you've automated it, so you've freed up your time. I hope you can see that this is a really great system and that it's got a lot of uses. And we look forward to seeing you try your product. If you want to contact us through the Contact Us page at the Computer Telecom Solutions site, we'll happily set you up a test account. And having set you up a test account, we're sure that you'll be interested. And at the amazing prices that this product and service is available for, we're sure you'll join us in using it in your marketing day to day. Thanks for listening. That's Steve from Computer Telecom Solutions, and we'll see you on the web soon.